Merhabalar herkese. Hepiniz IEFTalks Webinarları'na hoş geldiniz. Bugün İtalya'nın en köklü devlet üniversitelerinden Foscari University of Venice'de Burslu eğitim fırsatlarını Rachel'dan dinliyor olacağız. Lütfen sorularınızı soru cevap bölümünden yönlendirmeyi unutmayın. Yes, Rachel, the stage is yours now.
Thank you. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining this webinar. I'm happy to be here today and to present you with the academic offer of Foscari University of Venice. So I will now share my screen with you, and I will start presenting the university. There we go. Okay, so welcome to Venice and welcome to Foscari University. Ca' Foscari is a public university established more than 150 years ago as the first international business school in Italy. The name of the university comes from this very beautiful building that you can see in the slide. This is a Gothic palace built in the 15th century by one of the city's great noble families, and the Foscari family, actually. And so the main building of the university is located right on the Grand Canal in the city center of Venice. So you might have passed us if you've been in Venice and actually walked a little bit in the city center. So we're, of course, in time we grew, and we are now a mid-sized university compared to other Italian universities, counting around 23,000 students. We have 7 departments and a Venice School of Management that we group in pairs in 4 broad study areas, which are economics and management, science and technology, the humanities, and languages and cultures. This is how we measure up with all of the other universities in the world. As you can see, we are ranked in multiple subjects according to the QS World University rankings. And we excel in teaching 3 subjects in particular, which are classics and ancient history, modern languages, and economics and econometrics. A couple of words about our Venice School of Management. Last year, we have received the accreditation EQUIS by the European Foundation for Management Development for our excellence in management. We are very happy of having received this accreditation because it is awarded to only 1% of business schools worldwide. And this is because it evaluates many factors, such as internationalization, teaching quality, training opportunities, research excellence, and synergy with local businesses. What's also important for Ca' Foscari students is that the Venice School of Management doesn't have any specific fees. So you can basically study at an accredited business school at the rates of a public university. This is one of my favorite parts about Ca' Foscari, and it is the level of our internationalization. We are one of the top 5 universities in Italian university rankings for our level of internationalization. And this translates practically into many exchange opportunities for our students. In fact, we have more than 500 agreements for academic exchange and more than 60 joint or double degree combinations. What are they? These are basically degree programs, mostly at the master's level, but we do have some also at the bachelor's level. So degree programs that we set up together with a university located in another country, so not in Italy. And we have built a joint or a double degree program. So one part of the program will be carried out in Italy at Ca' Foscari, whereas you will spend the other year or year and a half at the partner university studying there with them. And at the end, you will obtain one single diploma in the case of a joint degree, or two different diplomas, one from us and one from the partner university, in case of a double degree. So this is an overview of the Italian higher education system. Our bachelor's degrees always last 3 years, and then you have 2-year master's degrees. We are a research university, so we also offer PhD programs, which last 3 or 4 years normally. We measure the amount of time that you need to complete the program in ECTS, which you also use in Turkey, together with Turkish credits. ECTS stands for European Credit Transfer System. And to complete one study year, you need to complete 60 credits per year. So 180 credits in total for bachelor's degrees and 120 for master's degrees. One ECTS amounts to 25 hours of work, which you can complete either in the classroom because you are attending your lectures, or because you're studying alone or with your colleagues in the library or at home. Please consider that most courses and the relevant exams are worth 6 or 12 ECTS. So to give you an idea of of the amount of time that you need to complete one course. To access university studies in Italy, you need to have obtained a high school diploma after at least 12 years of schooling. This is typically the case of Turkish students. And to access a master's degree, you need to obtain a bachelor's degree after at least 3 years of study. We know that you have 4 in Turkey, and usually all students graduating in Turkey are eligible for master's degree studies in Italy. These are all our programs at a glance. As you can see, we also have a foundation year, which is a preparatory program for bachelor's degree studies. We have several bachelor's degrees, including 7 that are taught entirely in English, more than 40 master's degrees, and about half of them is taught in English entirely, so no Italian is needed to enroll. We also have professional master's degree programs, which last around 1 year, and PhDs, as I said. A couple of words about our foundation year, because I know that it's quite popular among Turkish students. This is offered by our Foscari School for International Education. And in principle, it is aimed at high school graduates who for some reason do not have the prerequisites to be eligible for direct enrollment in an undergraduate program in Italy. But we, of course, accept also students who might wish to take the foundation year to be more confident at the academic level before starting an undergraduate program. So within the foundation year, which is lasting 1 year, of course, you have 3 main parts. You have core classes for all students, and you will study modern and contemporary Italian history, critical thinking, academic skills for university preparation. Then you have a focused study track, which you can choose when submitting your application for the foundation program. So you can choose from among economics and management, science, humanities and arts in English, or humanities and arts in Italian. Then you have a language component. You can study both English and Italian. And of course, you can give greater emphasis to the language in which you plan to study your bachelor's degree. These are our English taught bachelor's degrees. For most of them, actually, the application deadline has already expired. It was April 3 for non-EU students who need a visa. But for example, we still accept applications for the program in computer science. The deadline is May 6. So as you can see, we have a program in archaeology, which is called Ancient Civilization for the Contemporary World. A very interdisciplinary program, Philosophy, International and Economic Studies, and for programs in the field of economics and business, which are business administration, economics and business, digital management, and hospitality, innovation, and e-tourism. Then we go to our master's degree programs. These are the ones that we offer in the field of economics and management. Most of them are still open for admission. Unfortunately, for 3 of them, which are offered by our Venice School of Management, applications have closed already. As you can see, we have 2 new programs. One in innovation and management for culture and creativity, and one in tourist management and sustainability, for which you can still submit an application. Then we have all of the programs in the field of international studies and globalization, acting from multiple point of views. So that of international relations, then you have English or American studies, language sciences, and environmental humanities. Then we go to the science part. First with this hybrid program, which is called Conservation Science and Technology for Cultural Heritage, which is basically the use of science and technology to preserve and restore artifacts, such as, for example, paintings, sculptures, buildings, and so on. And as you can see, all of the programs that we teach in the field of science and technology at the master's level are taught in English. So we have computer science, engineering, physics, environmental sciences, bio and nanomaterials, and chemistry. We finish off with digital and public humanities. All of these programs are still open for admission. Whenever the deadline has already passed, I wrote it in the slides. This is a glimpse on our academic calendar. Our courses are basically divided into 2 groups. You have the economics and management and humanities courses that are divided in terms. So you typically go to the classes and attend your lectures for 5 weeks. And then you have a very small, like 1-week exam session, which is twice a year in January and June, followed by a long exam session where you have additional opportunities to take your exams. Languages and cultures and science and technology courses instead are divided in semesters. So you will attend your lectures from late September to mid-January, and then from late February to early June. And in the middle, you will have 2 big exam sessions. For everybody, there's a small exam session between late August and mid-September. So you have many occasions during the year where you can actually take your exams. Each exam can be taken for up to 4 times per year. It's a lot. So this is where we are located. As I said at the beginning of the presentation, we are based in central Venice, where we have 3 campuses: the economics campus, the humanities campus, and the linguistics campus. Our science campus instead is in Mestre, which is 10 minutes far from Venice with the tram, the bus, the train, and you also have night buses connecting the 2 cities at night. We have a couple of courses in Treviso, and last but not least, our digital management students are staying at the H-Farm campus in Roncade. Everything seems pretty far away from Venice in this map, but it's not. Actually, as I said, you only need 10 minutes to go from Venice to Mestre. And from Venice to Treviso, you have 35 or 40 minutes with the train. This is where we are in Venice. So you have the economics campus and the Venice School of Management right behind the train station in the upper part of the map. And all of the other buildings are those of the humanities and linguistics campuses. Here I have enclosed for you a few pictures of our campuses. This is the economics campus with the Venice School of Management. And here we also have a student dorm. Then I put the lecture halls of the linguistic campus. Here you have the library and the courtyard of the humanities campus. Our super big and brand new scientific campus. Here we also opened a new dorm for students. And this is H Farm. Very beautiful in the in the outskirts of Treviso. Very beautiful place. And last but not least, this is Treviso. Okay, now I would like to speak about a very hot topic, which is housing. Everybody has the impression that it is very difficult to find housing in Venice. This can be true, but if you start looking for housing and looking for accommodation early enough, I would say end of May, beginning of June, then you can find affordable housing and be ready to move to Venice already at the beginning of September. So we currently have three main types of student housing. We basically accommodate students in student residences that can be managed either by the regional government or by privates. And then we also have shared privately owned apartments. This is one of our student residences, the Santa Marta Campus residence. Here we have 650 beds with green common areas and a restaurant. And this is our economics campus residence, which is on campus, like right outside of the economics and Venice School of Management buildings. We have a housing office that can help you finding accommodation in private apartments in case you don't find accommodation in one of our residences. By the way, you have the list of all of the student residences with which we have an agreement on our official university website with all of the contacts and prices and the conditions. So you might wish to have a look at it. If you don't find a bed there, you can always contact our housing office. They offer professional assistance with finding the right accommodation in Venice, and they do so via this website, this platform, which is called Student, where you can apply a few filters. So you can specify whether you are looking for a whole apartment by yourself, or you wish, for example, to share a room with another student. And you can tell if you want to have a male or female flatmate. They then support in the signing of a fair and clear rental agreement, which is very important because rental agreements are in Italian. So if you don't know Italian, their help will be very much appreciated. And they also make sure that everything is legally conducted. So they also take care of all of the administrative part. For non-EU students, they also issue a letter attesting the rental agreement that you can use in the visa request process. And to offer this service, if they manage to actually find accommodation for you, they ask for a 175 euro fee. We have several welcome and immigration services and activities that we offer to international students who have just arrived in Venice. For example, we have an entire week, the International Welcome Week in September, where we offer various activities for the international students that have just arrived in the city. We have also a financial aid office, which can give you information about regional funds. We have a buddy program. This is a very cool program, and it pairs a Foscari student, so someone who has already been with us for at least 1 year or two, with a new international student. And you can turn to your buddy if you have any questions about the program or the university. We have campus tutors, very useful if you need practical and administrative information about how, for example, to fill out your study plan, how to book your exams. Perhaps you need a couple of tips on how to study or to get started with a course, and they are there to help you. And we also have a counseling service. As I said, all of the programs that are taught in English do not require you to speak or be proficient in Italian before enrollment. However, we encourage our international students to learn the language and mingle with the local culture. And this is why we offer courses in Italian language and culture at the university for all of our international students. The first course is offered by the university, so the A1 level is on us. And then you can continue studying by paying very discounted fees. So for example, you will pay around 100 euros for a module of 70 to 80 hours. So it's very convenient. We have a few academic minors that you can choose from to enrich your academic study plan. We also have an international college. This is our honors college. And of course, college students are first of all Foscari student. What you do at the college? You attend your normal, let's say, academic lectures and activities at Foscari, and then you also attend a parallel program at the college, which you get to choose at the very beginning of the year. The college is a very international environment, and one of the advantages of the college, in addition to an additional diploma that you will get at the end of the program, is that the college is covering for you the tuition fees of your bachelor's or master's degree, and they also cover accommodation. We are also part of the Venice International University, which is a consortium of universities from all over the world based in Venice, where you can take a few lectures and attend to conferences that are mostly devoted to global issues, so economics and environmental issues mostly. We also have several summer schools, including one with Harvard, which can be accessed by bachelor's degree students. And as we saw at the very beginning, we have many mobility programs and joint and double degrees. All of you will have a curricular internship. So you must do an internship even before graduating, even if you are just bachelor's degree students. How to do that? Well, we have a dedicated career service, which will help you finding the right place for you. In fact, we have a very big database with more than 10,000 agreements for internships and work placement programs, from which you can select the company or the museum or the association where you wish to carry out your internship. You can even add let's say, a company or a museum, for example, which is not on the list. You just need to put us in contact with them, so as to, to start all of the administrative papers. And then when everything is settled, you can go and carry out your internship there. As non-EU students, with your permit of stay, you can work for up to 20 hours per week without needing to apply for any other permit. And after graduation, you can stay in Italy for up to 1 year with the purpose of seeking employment. Sorry. Beyond the classroom, we offer a network of 6 libraries. We have a theater, we have a sports center, we have a choir, we have various student associations, and a rich calendar of academic and cultural events that we often also carry out with the municipality. This is, for example, a picture from our literary festival, which is called Crossroads of Civilizations. Then this is a picture from the art night in Venice. And this is our short film festival, which is the first short film festival in Europe, which is entirely organized and managed by university students and professors. So we are very proud of it. Now, perhaps a couple of words about Venice. I believe that at least some of you have already visited us, but the tourist experience is very different from the resident experience. So the question is, what is Venice really like? The assumption is that it is a city only dedicated to tourists, that is always flooded with this phenomenon that is called high tide, in Italian acqua alta, and that it is more a museum than a city, best for a gondola ride or, to take a selfie in San Marco Square or on Rialto's bridge. Well, the reality is that Venice is a student life. You actually have 4 higher education institutions in town. You have Ca' Foscari, you have UAV with the students of architecture, design, fashion, and urban planning. Then you have a conservatory and an academy of fine arts. So you have many university students and many of them coming from abroad. Flooding is now limited to specific times of the year, usually November or February. And it's very rare, thanks to these mobile flood barriers that we call MOSE. And finally, Venice is rich of culture and events that take place always and everywhere throughout the city. So yeah, you get to have a city where all space is social because you can get it pretty much everywhere. You are going around on foot or by boat. So you also have, less pollution and you have a less dangerous environment. You have access to the beach during the summer on an island which is called the Lido. And then you have internationally renowned events such as the Biennale of Art, the Biennale of Architecture, the Venice Film Festival, the Music Biennale, plus local festivals such as the Carnival and the Festival of the Redeemer. We also have a couple of airports that you can make use of. One is in Venice, and from there you have direct flights to Istanbul several times per day. Plus we have a small airport in Treviso where you can take local flights to many European destinations. Now let's go practical in the last few minutes of our presentation. These are the fees that you will find at Ca' Foscari. As you know, we are public. That means that most of the university tuition fee is funded already by the Italian state. Turkish citizens are considered non-EU OECD citizens. So you will pay 2,100 euros per year for a bachelor's degree and 2,300 euros per year for a master's degree. The exceptions are listed here below. The foundation year, as you can see, has a different price, and it costs 5,000 for a year. We also offer merit-based scholarships. You can find more information here on this webpage, which is unive.it/scholarships. Applications have already closed for this year. The deadline was April 10. But we hope to be able to offer the same awards next year. So perhaps get back in touch this fall, because we might already have an idea of which scholarships we'll be able to offer for the fall 26 intake. With regard to living expenses, you need to budget around 800 to 900 euros per month for ordinary living expenses, which means rent, food, books, public transit. Please remember, however, that what you might spend depends on where and how you choose to live. So, as I advised already during the presentation, please start early to look for accommodation, because that is very important. Now, how to apply for admission? Okay, these are generally the admission requirements for the foundation year program. You need to have obtained or be in the process of obtaining a high school diploma, and you will need to have a B2 level knowledge of English, plus a certified A1 or A2 level knowledge of Italian, in case you want to opt for the bridge option language module to improve your Italian. For bachelor's degrees, you need to have obtained a high school diploma after at least 12 years of schooling. Knowledge of Italian is not required if you wish to study in English. And with regard to English, we need you to have a B2 level knowledge of English, which for which we need a certificate or not, depending on the program. I will now tell you how to find out. For master's degree candidates, we need you to have obtained or be in the process of obtaining a bachelor's degree, of course. Please note that many of our English taught programs also require you to have a minimum CGPA. And please always check the minimum curricular prerequisites for admission. What are they? This is specific quantities of undergraduate coursework that you must have carried out in relevant areas of study in order to be eligible for admission to each and every master's degree program. You need to have a B2 level knowledge of English. And of course, if you want to study in English, Italian is not required. This is our online application platform. You can find it on apply.unive.it. So everything takes place here, and we don't need you to send us any paper documents. You have a very interesting news section with news, for example, about scholarship opportunities, admission rounds, deadlines, and also you can find this very interesting article, which allows you to book a chat with one of our international students to ask them how it is to study at Foscari and live in Venice. Each program has its own program page, and there you can find information about open intakes, entry requirements, language requirements, all of the possible links to the program's official webpage on the university website. So everything that you can possibly be looking for is on the platform. You just need to register with your own email address, fill out your application, upload the required documents, pay the application fee, and click on the submit button. Very easy and straightforward. The platform is very intuitive. Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much for your attention. If you want to get to know us even better, you can write to us at perspective.students@unive.it. And if you have yet to do it, please follow us on Instagram. The account is called Student Life in Venice and is managed by a team of actual international students. So it's not us, old people, but real international students that are studying with us do their best to let you know all of the academic and lifestyle opportunities in Venice. Okay, so now it's time to answer to your questions. I will just stop sharing my screen and see what's in the chat. Okay. Okay, so first question, will there be any information about accommodation? Yes, of course. We already talked about it during the presentation. If you have any additional questions specifically about accommodation, you can write it in the Q&A section. Second question, can you please give more information about computer science and the entry requirements, such as do you accept SAT or should we take the TOEFL test? Yeah, so on the program page on apply.unive.it, you will find all of the necessary information to apply for the bachelor's degree in computer science with a concentration of data science. For admissions this year, we do not accept the SAT. So the only way to be admitted to the program as a non-EU candidate requiring a visa is actually taking the English TOEFL test. I do hope in case that you have already taken this test, because I have checked the calendar of the upcoming dates on the provider's website just this morning, and they have no more dates until May 6th, which is the application deadline. So I do hope you have already taken the the English TOEFL test. Okay, next question. Hello, I'm an urban and regional planning student in architecture faculty of Venice University. Is there any available master's degree program for me? I searched a little, but I didn't catch any master's program close to urban planning. And this is because we don't have any. As I said, we have 4 higher education institutions in Venice, and one of them, not us, is another university, which is called the UF, and they have master's degrees in urban planning. So I suggest that you check them out, because we don't offer any program close to urban planning. Then, do you accept YKS from last year, meaning 2024, for entry in 25-26? So we do not check your YKS results because the embassy is doing that, the Embassy of Italy. So what you should do is actually send an inquiry to the Consulate General of Italy in Istanbul, or to the Consulate of Izmir, or to the embassy in Ankara, depending on where you live and where you will apply for a visa, and ask them, like, provide a breakdown of your situation and ask them if you can present last year's YKS. Another question from the same person. If we do have a problem due to visa process, can we attend the classes online until we arrive in person? Yes, since COVID, this is usually an option. So we allow non-EU students requiring a visa to attend the classes online until they have received a visa, and we are notified by the embassy that you got a visa. So this is usually an option. More information about these will be shared, I suppose, in August, beginning of September. Next question. Hi, Akele. Thank you for your presentation. Thank you, Leila, for being here. Are there any career-related events to support students after their studies? Yes, I mentioned the career service during my presentation. They also organize events to help and support students to find a job after their graduation. And you will also find a special section of the university website, which is, of course, accessible only by our students, with job offers coming from companies that have an agreement with us and send us regularly job offers for our students. What are the average prices for schools and accommodation? So yeah, we already went through the tuition fees during the presentation. So you know that on average, you will pay 2,100 euros per year if you enroll in a bachelor's degree, or 2,300 if you enroll in a master's degree. For accommodation, it depends. It depends on where you want to find a room. For example, newer student residences are usually more expensive than older ones. Somebody might think that private apartments are crazy expensive, but they are not. So of course, if you arrive in Venice in mid-September and you have yet to start looking for accommodation at that moment, you are left with the most expensive alternatives. But if you follow my advice and start earlier, again, end of May, beginning of June, that's already a good moment. You start informing yourself, and then you have many options from among which you can actually choose, and also find cheaper alternatives. We did ask our students how much they spend for a month, and they confirmed that it's like 800 to 900 euros if you move early and look for accommodation sufficiently on time. Is there an opportunity to do an exchange here in a different country? Of course. As we saw during the presentation, Foscari has more than 500 agreements for exchange programs. So that means that you can spend a 6 month or a year at one of our partner universities. Many of them are located in the European Union because, of course, we are linked to the Erasmus program. But we also have an overseas program to send students in the United States, Australia, East Asia, Africa. So you can basically go pretty much everywhere in the world. And someone else, I'm interested in the bachelor's degree in computer science. The usual graduation time for Turkish students is June, July to obtain the high school diploma. However, your deadline is May 6th. Do you have a conditional application process so that applicants can start the process earlier and submit the diploma later? Otherwise, students will lose 1 year. What do you do? What do you recommend in order to overcome this timeline gap? That's a very interesting question. Thank you so much. Of course, you are allowed to apply for admission to a bachelor's degree over the last year of high school. So for admissions to the this fall 2025 intake, we opened our admission platform for international candidates already back in December. And we have accepted applications for students who are now finishing their fourth and last year of high school in Turkey. So of course you can apply and you can be accepted to a specific program without having already finished your high school studies. Then you will get your diploma in June, July, and you will, provide us with a scan of your final official diploma and transcript of records when you arrive in Venice in September or by the moment when you apply for a visa. Are there any scholarships provided? Yes, we saw it during the presentation. There's a specific webpage dedicated to scholarships available to international students. This is unive.it/scholarships. And there you can find a list of all of the scholarships, like our scholarships and also those that we know about. So for example, the Investor Talent in Italy scholarships or the scholarships offered by our Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. Can you please provide statistics for computer science bachelors? How many seats available for international students? And how many applications were there in total? Which campus is allocated for this program? So I'll start from the last question. The computer science bachelor's degree is based in our science campus in Mestre. This program is in principle an open access program, meaning that all European citizens and all non-EU citizens who are already residing in Italy can enroll in the program, and we don't have a maximum number for them. However, we do have a maximum number of seats for non-EU students, and it's 50 per year. We have admitted students during 4 admission rounds, and we have admitted around 70 students per round. Of course, if more than 50 students will arrive, we will offer a place to all of them, no worries. But these are the statistics, less or more, for this year. What are the acceptance rates for your university? It depends on the program. Many programs have an entry test and the limited amount of spots, such as computer science, for example. So you might be also taking a good score in the entry test, but you have many students that are doing better than you, so you are left out of the program. Some other programs instead are unlimited access programs, so you just apply and get accepted if you just send us all of the required documentation. So it really depends also from the master's level to the bachelor's degree level. Could you please give some more information about the possibility of an 11th grader coming to the foundation program? Here I would like to I would need to know what you mean by 11th grader, meaning if you are now enrolled in the 11th grade of high school, but for example, you are in Turkey and would need 1 more year to earn your high school diploma, we would not accept you to the foundation year because you need to have obtained a high school diploma in order to be able to apply for the foundation year program. So this is a must. So you must have already obtained a high school diploma or be in the process of obtaining it. Whether it's 11 or 12 years, then we can discuss about this, but you must be in the process of obtaining a high school diploma. Of course, if you attend high school, if you're attending high school in a country that allows you to obtain the high school diploma after only 11 years of schooling. This is the case of Russia, for example. Then of course you can apply for the foundation year. So after 11 years of schooling, you obtain your standard normal Russian high school diploma, and then you can apply for the foundation year in Italy. Okay. So I think I'm pretty much done with all of the questions in the Q&A session.
Yes, thank you very much for the great
Okay.
presentation, Rachel. It was a very informative session for the attendees, and we had a lot of questions. You covered all of them. Thank you for your answers as well. Also, could you please share an email address on the chat box, so if the participants have further questions, they can
Yes,
contact you later. In the
of
meantime,
course.
I would like to thank the participants in Turkish as well. Katıldığınız için teşekkür ederiz arkadaşlar. Umarım sizin için de faydalı bir webinar olmuştur. Foscari University of Venice ile ilgili diğer sorularınızı paylaşılmış olan mail adresinden Rachel'a her zaman ulaşabilirsiniz. Bir sonraki webinarlarımızda görüşmek üzere. Thank you very much again, Rachel. It was a pleasure to have you in IEFT Talks.
Thank you for inviting me, and thank you to all of the people that attended. Thank you for having me. We hope to
Thank
see you
you.
in Venice.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Ciao, ciao.